Welcome. So I recently threw out to you all the opportunity to ask me anything. Ask me anything at all. I'm Laura, aka Auntie Lollipops to her young nieces and nephew, and I'm also a widow. I am passionate about helping others to understand those subjects they don't want to talk about, like death and dying and those experiences that we just get fearful and scary about. So this was a start. I'd much rather be behind the lens rather than in front of the lens, so I'm stepping very much out of my comfort zone, so be kind to me. Anyway, so here we go. Question: do you feel relief? Not all grief is full of love. Do I feel relief? Yes, in some ways I do feel relief, but relief because I'm not witnessing the pain, because it's very evident that there was pain in the last months and weeks before my husband died. Not the relief from the experience of the frustration of the fact that people were truly trying to be nice and didn't really want to tell you the inevitable. So they sort of kind of gave you all the answers but the one you really wanted to know. And aside from that, then the frustration of turning up to the hospital and things weren't ready and things weren't in the place that you expected them to be. But that's kind of before everything happened. But I do think you have grief before death actually happens. But grief is a huge bundle of emotions. It's just so much more than just, sadness, etc. For me, there was despair over how was I going to cope. This was meant to be the next part of my life, all of those opportunities that weren't going to happen. So mixed with that, you've got the sadness, you've got the loneliness. I was angry with the amount of paperwork that I had to do, that I had no idea about how to do it, let alone know the passwords to actually get into the accounts to be able to do it. And then on the receiving end, you talk to a bank or you talk to a helpline, and who was supposed to be dedicated to helping you. And yet, bottom line was, there was such a long process. They didn't ask questions that really, really helped you. They just drew the process out and there was not much empathy. So you then get to this whole space of this as well. So I think there was some level of relief. I think there was relief once a lot of that was done. But I wouldn't necessarily have said it was outright. There was definitely resounding love for what I had lost, what was I taking into the next space. But that took a little while to find. But we all experience this differently. We all have unique experiences. Our relationships are all unique to us. So we can really understand the emotions that we go through in order to kind of come out the other side. And that's okay, And so for some, if relief is what you feel because it's actually an escape from what has been, then that's okay too. I think I'm just talking of my own experience and how I personally felt. And I think there was anger with the paperwork, but mainly it was about the sadness, the loneliness, the despair of the love I had now lost and wasn't quite the same anymore. So I hope that answers the question. Feel free to ask me more. Okay, thank you. Bye.